Hello, family and friends. Jody here. I'm going to do a little garden walk, and I decided that I would show you a little bit how we've done our irrigation, because I know that's something that a lot of people struggle with, and we struggled with it at first, and we still do every once in a while. But our irrigation, as with everything in our garden, our irrigation is kind of morphed over time, and we kind of feel like we've gotten to the point where we've got a real handle on it, and it's not super expensive to do it the way we've done it. And I don't know, we'll show you and you'll get a chance to see for yourself, and hopefully this will be helpful. So not a lot of change, although it's definitely fall. We're having much cooler temperatures in the evenings, which has been kind of interesting. So I still haven't gotten that ready to put. That'll be cabbage, and I haven't gotten that ready yet. In here, I've kind of raked it, but you can see there's still a few holes where Arnold was, but we have taken care of Arnold. So we have drip irrigation in all of our raised beds. And of course, because the way our garden started, it started with these beds here, this first part of the garden, which is these 6-inch raised beds. And basically what we did was we hooked up our irrigation just to a hose, and we ran a line out, and it actually, well, actually, I think I can move the dirt and you can see it. It's like, it's right down here. And it's just run right along this. It's just right along here. And then I have a T, and it comes up, and then it just goes along the width of the bed, and then we have drip tape that is taken off of it. And you'll notice that this looks different than that. I discovered that you can put valves in these drip tapes, and it really helps with control, because different times of year we need different amounts of water. So in the hot summertime, we are watering twice a day. And now we're only watering once a day, and then sometimes, depending upon what I plant in it, I might turn a couple of them off. So anyway, so I'm just, we've been learning. So those were the first ones, and we just have a line that comes out to them. And all of our irrigation looks like that. It's what's called a main line, and then we have little manifold feeder lines off of that. I'm going to show you this, and you're going to be laughing. So this is the brains of the operation right here. It is so simple. As many of you know, we're on pretty much solid rock, so there was no way for us to trench. So we just laid a hose, and it's got weed cloth on it here, but it comes from the barn, and the hose goes up here, and then we put a little 4-way manifold on it, and we've got a bunch of different things, some hoses and stuff, like just normal kind of things. And then here's our dripper system. And so it is got a pressure reducer, and then this is a filter, because we're on well water, so we do have some solids in our water. And then this is a timer that I think we bought at Lowe's. And we have 4 different zones. So that's trees, that's garden, this one is the high tunnel, and then this one is, sometimes I run a sprinkler for overhead. So it is that simple. And then these just run down, and like this one goes under the weed cloth, and it goes over to the high tunnel, and it runs all the way down the end of the high tunnel, or the length of the high tunnel. And you can see where I've taken off right there and have a manifold with drip tape in the bed. And so each bed looks like that, and it's like a big U, the main line is. It goes all the way down to the end, and then it goes across to the other side, and then it goes back up. So that's it. It's very, very simple. This is just drip tapes that are laid on these little mounds. I don't know if you can see them. They're kind of hard to see, but all of our beds basically look like that. Now, because we have raised beds, we chose not to put them underneath just because of maintenance. So ours actually come up, and then the manifold is over, and all of our raised beds look like that. They all come up along the side, and I got smarter as time went on, and I put a valve in the pipe that goes up so I can shut off the whole bed. And this bed was done first, and so I don't have it there, but I do have them at every tape. So I'm going to go in the barn and I'm going to lay out these drip tapes and the parts and bits and show them to you.
Okay, so this is the parts for an irrigation system. So I'm going to start at the beginning. And this is what is in our system. So first is a pressure reducer, and you notice it says hose to hose. So that's important because you need the pressure reducer gets hooked onto a hose. And then this is a filter, and as I said, we're on a well, so we have solids in our water, so we use a filter. And this is all normal kind of hose stuff. And then some kind of timer, which is, it's just a timer. So this actually is an important part. And this is a part that goes from normal hose stuff to the 5/8 main line. And that's kind of the only place you use it. And then you'll have some tubing, and this is all 5/8 tubing. So it might be, 20 feet long. Then I put in a T, and my tubing, my main line, this is all called the main line, continues. And then this is an end cap, and it has a end cap here, and you can take that off so you can purge the system, and you can just kind of clean everything out, which is kind of cool. So this T would be going to one of my garden beds, one of my raised beds. So I do a T and I go up, and then I put more tubing, and then I'll do an elbow, and then generally I'll put some kind of a valve in it so I can turn on and off the entire bed. And then I'll probably do another elbow. And then I do a piece of main line that's as wide as my garden bed. And I do another one of those end plugs that has the clean out on the end of it. And then I use this lovely little tool, which I think I've had for more than 20 years. I used it for a little garden thing. I probably bought it at Lowe's. And then you can have one of these. You see the little nipple, so that little tool pokes a hole, and then this gets pushed in. And that one is just a normal one, and this is one that has a valve on it. And then you fit on the 5/8 inch tape, and then you put on the end cap, which goes on. It folds over twice, and then you put it on, then you fold that over twice, and you snug it back. And I'll show a picture of that in the garden. So what I love about this is every fitting is reusable. So the brand of fittings that I buy is called irrigate. I buy it at Drip Depot, which is all online. I have been always completely happy with their service. I've even called them a couple times. Super knowledgeable, really, really helpful, great website, and great product. The tape you can buy in different dimensions for, different spacing for the emitters and different volume for the emitters, per emitter. And then this is just a different type, and it's just a little bit different, but I don't know if you can see it there. It's like a little razor thing. Yeah, so there you see it. So it's just a different type of tape. They both work great.
So this is what a roll of this looks like. This is 5/8 inch, 15 mil. It is 12-inch emitter spacing, and it is a half a gallon per minute per 100 feet of drip tape. So that's how you can get an idea of how much water you're getting on your garden. So this is the back of the high tunnel, and so it comes from that side, comes along, just goes along. We have to step over it, and there's a T, and this goes down and feeds the center beds, and then it goes all the way over to the edge, the outside edge of the high tunnel, and then it goes all the way back the other direction. And then I just take off with a manifold, and that way I can handle every bed in the high tunnel. I almost forgot. my most favorite walk through the arch is no more. Actually, I tore it off today. Pete helped me, and the loofah was just out of control. And so now this will the beans, I mean, are getting a chance to grow now, and they're actually starting to set fruit. And then I had some that were kind of dried, and so I collected those because I save bean seeds. They're so easy to save. And then I have some more beans there. We really like green beans. Um, oh, this was our okra, and Pete put in a simple little cover crop, and it's doing really well. So we're feeling pretty good about that because we're not leaving the ground bare. And then over here is some carrots and some beets, and some of them are doing pretty good. Some of the beets are getting pretty big, but some of them are pretty slow. So our weather's still hot, and I will plant a whole lot more carrots and beets than that. Some more sweet potatoes. Um, and I didn't have any regular potatoes come up, so I'm a failure for fall potatoes, which it's okay. I succeeded in the spring, and it was my first year to succeed with potatoes, and I was pretty happy about it. But I'll double down and study more and see if I can figure out what I'm doing wrong in the fall. So this is actually what I pulled off of the loofah, and this is only a tenth of what was on there. These are just the ones that were completely dry. So these I will skin them, uh, and then there's a loofah inside, and I'll probably give some to friends, and then I will have a 20-year supply of loofah scrubbies. But we really like them, so it's kind of a good thing. And of course, I still have some zinnias up here, and some of these are new, and some of these are from the spring, and you can see I've still got some that I haven't chopped out yet. My beans are flowering like crazy, and so I'm hoping I'm going to get a lot of beans up here. And I need to cut that basil back, but the bees are just enjoying it so much, I hate to take it from them. So I chopped down all those big zinnias. However, I have never seen so many volunteer zinnias. So some of them, the new ones are already starting to flower. And I will definitely get another round of zinnia flowers, which is really nice. They're so nice to have in the house. So that's our irrigation system. Like everything in our garden, it has um, kind of developed over time. And we're at the point now where we feel like this is the way we'll always do our irrigation because it's so wonderful. We wish we could trench and have underground uh, water pipes and freeze-proof spigots, but we can't trench here, so that's just the way it is. So of course in the wintertime when we get a freeze, before it freezes, we have to come out and we have to turn the water off, and we have to unhook that little timer because it's plastic inside, and if it freezes and the water expands, it will break it. And so we have broken one, but you know, it's not it's not the end of the world if we break one. So we set ourselves a reminder. We try to remember, but last year it froze and thawed and froze and thawed, and we put it back out because it got hot, and we ended up breaking one. So we had to replace it this year, but that just happens sometimes. But on the whole, it is a pretty easy way to do your irrigation. As far as putting it together, it goes really fast, and I know it's a little intimidating at first. Drip Depot has a really wonderful site. There's lots of YouTube videos out there that show you how to put it together, and hopefully this will help somebody who's struggling with that part of gardening, because it can be a struggle. So that's about all that's going on here. We've been canning. We fermented some pepper sauce like Tabasco. We fermented some sinjuisas, and it's just an unusual chili from South America. And some Pete does this, and he did some sauce that is shishito and jalapeno. Anyway, they turned out really, really good. So that's what's kind of exciting. So we're having fun doing that. We're still doing a bit of canning, but you know, the bulk of our harvest is done, and so now we'll probably have a break until probably November, and then we'll start getting harvest from the cooler vegetables. So anyway, hope y'all have a totally fabulous week coming ahead, and I will talk to you soon. Bye bye.